great, I admire documentaries. It means I have great respect for the documentary cinema, but somehow I always wanted to have the full control on the storytelling, and in the documentary you cannot.
Io ti ho sentito dire, e sono d'accordo, che raccontando delle cose di cui non si parla molto, a volte si aiuta non a risolvere i problemi, ma a fare sì che vengano conosciuti e se ne parli. Mi ricordo che tu dicevi che alla fine su Hitler e l'Olocausto e gli ebrei, anche una serie televisiva come quella americana che raccontava questa cosa aveva avuto una funzione importante. Quindi raccontare storie, fare storytelling è una buona maniera per utilizzare, io non voglio dire morale, non voglio dire etica, però per fare dei film che dicano delle cose veramente, veramente importanti. Tu sull'Ucraina hai parlato 3 anni prima che succedesse quello che succedeva. Forse se ne fosse parlato di più.
If I understood well what you are asking me for, I'm not sure. It is, I think that the filmmakers, if they are sensitive and curious, they are connected somehow to the underneath of the situation. You feel the things which are not here visible yet.
Yes, but they connect also the brain of the people with the problem.
Well, what you create when you create the film, if it's true and powerful, it is the experience. And suddenly you give to the people the experience, they can share with somebody they never imagined that they will be meeting, like, I don't know, poor Ukrainian people in the countryside, or the Jews in the village in 1940 or something like that. And they are able to make some kind of the empathy, which opens up the window to the understanding, I think. But it's not easy. It's not that every time you are trying, sometimes it works. If you touch the right spot, it works. If you don't touch the right spot, it just...
Ora, una cosa che volevo chiedere a tutte e due, perché per tutti noi è, come dire, è veramente molto difficile. Le donne e la guerra. Quando è successo quello che c'è tuttora nella guerra in Ucraina, noi abbiamo visto che tutto tornava indietro, all my come back. Le donne con i bambini e gli animali andavano via. Gli uomini combattevano e non potevano attraversare le frontiere.
I was in Poland when the war started in Ukraine, the full-scale war, because the war is going on from 2014. But when it started, so I was going to the train stations, to the places where the refugees from Ukraine have been coming, and it was millions, 5 million people went through. So I met a lot of people, and we tried to help as much as we can help individuals. And then all my apartments and houses in Poland, in France, have been with the refugees. So I was able to listen to a lot of stories. And what was in the first place visible, it was a total shock, because it was like they knew that the war is there. They knew that Donbass is somehow under the war, but they was living peaceful life with some progress, economical progress and political progress, with the expectations of, like, some wealth even. And one day everything is destroyed, and they have to grab what is essential: children, animals. Many of them had animals.
Yes.
Yeah. For example, in my country house in Poland, my daughter's country house, it was 2 young lesbians who came with 5 cats and dog. And after I met the woman who had 27 dogs, and she 27, she was a bit crazy, I think, but she loved those dogs. She absolutely didn't want to separate, but somebody took her for like 1 week, after somebody for 2 weeks, but no one didn't have, to place to give. So probably she came back to Kharkov, which is pretty dangerous place. No, anyway, my friend, Ukrainian producer, she became my friend, but I knew her work. She was living for 4 months in my house in Britain, in France, with her little boy and husband and the grandmother. And they took the baby, they adopted the baby who was abandoned in the hospital, born just before the war. And it was premature baby, and the hospital asked if you will not take her, she will die. So they took her and she became their daughter. So, you hear thousands of incredible stories. Every of those refugees has its own story. I met 2 old ladies of 90, friends from some village in Ukraine. They never seen electricity. They never see the running water, the water closet. And they've been totally lost. It was something, we found the office for them. The office gave the place that they can stay, but they didn't know how to use the water closet. They didn't know how to open the water. So when we came next day with the friends to feed them and bring some clothes, they've been totally dirty. So it was tragic. And only thing they wanted, it was to find the cousin who lived in Belarus. And they didn't care if Belarus is Lukashenko, if Putin is Russia. They just, lost the only little place they knew. And only thing they knew also that they cannot be separated. They've been friends for life. So, it is, that is the material for the documentary. It's also some kind of the stories to work with them and to try to wake up the humanity and tell, we are in this place, and today is Ukraine, tomorrow it will be somebody else.
Dacia, tra te e la guerra, che oltretutto, come dire, uno ha anche cose della propria, no, di guerra.
Yeah, I lived the war because I was a child. I was in Japan. My father is an anthropologist, so we went to Japan. And in 1943, when Japan made a pact with Germany and Italy, we were put in a concentration camp for anti-fascist choice. And so we stayed 2 years in a concentration camp in Japan. And so I know what is war, what is hunger. We were dying of hunger. There were no food and there were bombs every day. So I know what is a war, and I know how it can be terrible. Every evening, I was surprised to be alive because we could die any moment. No, so I can understand just hearing about what is happening in Ukraine. I can understand what is happening there. We also lost everything, house, books, everything we lost. And when the war was finished, the Allies, the Americans, gave us just a dress, and we came to Italy with a ship. But before coming back, we had 1 year waiting in Japan. So I think I know what is war, and I know how it can be terrible. In a war, there are no more, the ideas, the thought doesn't count anymore. You divide the society in friends and enemies, no?